What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 74th episode of the Boundless Business Podcast. As always, it's the amazing Justine, Larissa, and Nico here. Team, how are you feeling today?
Feeling good.
It's June in Phoenix, so I'm not feeling amazing. It's a little hot, if I'm honest, but it's still good.
Hey, I don't know. I don't really mind it too much because the evenings are so nice. But hey, listen, you go for more walks in a day than I do, so.
As someone who spends a lot of time outside, it's hard, but we're powering through.
Love it. And we both got our fans going, so hey, that's a testament. Justine, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, so speaking of weather, we thought it would be a good idea today to talk about what landscapers can do when the weather turns on a whim. So if it starts raining and you can no longer perform your service, what are some things that you can do to stay productive during your day? So we have some practical ideas here that we can give to landscapers for, when they're caught in the rain. So our first one is they can get caught up on or get ahead on administrative and organizational tasks. So who wants to start us off?
Oh, there's always so many things you can do to get caught up. I mean, and I think this happens in every single business. In landscaping, it's a little different because your business is often motivated in some ways by the weather, and that can be really hard. So being able to get like the admin stuff all taken care of on a rainy day. So I'm talking like get your equipment and tools sorted and like do kind of a brief inventory of those. Make sure you have a good track on those. Maybe keep up to date on like if there's any warranties or anything on those particular tool items that just might be helpful for you to be able to refer back to down the line. Updating client databases and contact lists, making sure that's all up to date for any marketing efforts that you do. So, for example, you want to have a list of current clients, past clients, prospective clients, and clients that like ghosted you and might be cold, or you want to be able to have distinct lists for all those individual things. And then it's also just a really good time to take a step back and look at your business as a whole. Just to say, okay, maybe I need to tweak this process here, this process there, make things just a little bit better. And, our goal, and one thing that I think is would be really helpful for some other businesses to implement, is like our goal is just to get 1% better every week. That's it. But that compounds really, really quickly. So if you can just on any rainy day take a step back and think, how can I make the most of this rainy day and help my business be 1% better? Just one tiny percent better. And maybe that's something that has to do with communication. Maybe it has to do with organization. Maybe it has to do with preparing yourself in the event of, let's say, something bad happening. Things like this happen. There are liabilities to owning a business, so preparing against those. And I guess the final way I would say is like to get caught up. I mentioned this earlier, making sure your client database and contact lists are updated, but follow up with your leads. If you can't do work, well, you can probably reach out and maybe get some more work scheduled for the future.
Yeah, there's multiple ways, and we're talking about rain, but it could be snow, and especially in the winter months, it could be just like weather's impeding a project or something like that. One thing that we didn't mention, which you should have had, is if you have jobs scheduled or if you have jobs in the next couple of days that are going to be affected by weather, let clients know. Like one of the best things that you can do is just let people know, hey, because of it raining or snowing, we can't do X, Y, Z. We're going to push it back. Everything's okay. This is just basically reaffirming this to your customers because they might still be expecting you to come out, but it wouldn't be advantageous, and you can communicate that would bring up costs and stuff like that for them, and it wouldn't do that good of a job. So the first thing you've got to do is all projects that are currently happening, in the process of happening, or even that have been scheduled might be impacted by it. So just be proactive and let your customers know. To Larissa's point, like this is a really good time to focus on, okay, what clients didn't sell. Let's say it's snowing or raining or something like that, and you notice a lot of trees are coming down. Well, you can go look at all the proposals that you sent through Jobber or QuickBooks or in your database for people who wanted tree service done, and you could run a rainy day promotion. Because again, if they wanted a tree removed here or branches cut or something like that, weather is going to make that problem a lot worse. So most people are going to want to get that salt. Now, hail especially, right? If it's going to hail, things are going to happen. If there's a lot of heat, excessive heat, and the grass is dying, like go back into your database and find people who wanted that service. You can offer them a nice little promo because you know they were interested at a specific time. The other thing that you can focus on is get reviews, right? If it's raining and snowing, you can go to past customers that just haven't had a chance to get a review and ask them for that, or ask them for referrals, see how your work was. Like you start rebuilding and reinitiating that conversation, because honestly, you're sitting on free assets, free marketing just by doing that. So those are a couple of ways that, especially on the growth side, what you can look for is really low hanging fruit. And it's not like you're gonna be out in the field, so you want to maximize the time that you have.
Yeah, marketing is another big one. Now, like on a rainy day, now is a great time to work on your social media, schedule out posts, organize your photos and your portfolio, and update your website. Do all of those like online things that you want to be inside for, most likely. So it's a great time to do those, and also respond to reviews. And in addition to seeking out reviews, you can use this time to respond to reviews.
Yeah.
Our next point here is, Nico, you kind of mentioned this, but offer rainy day specials and kind of expand your services and offerings. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on there?
Really, like the biggest thing is like it forces you to really take a quick step back and saying, okay, where am I in the season? Is it the beginning, the end? How's my pipeline look? And is there anything that I could do to incentivize current customers, past customers, people in the pipeline to move forward, right? So maybe that is offering a rainy day discount. Maybe that is, running a referral campaign. Maybe that is, spending a little bit more on advertising since people are going to be indoors. So, especially on the customer acquisition side, it's a good time to pause, see where you are in the season and your goals for the year, and then maybe you're ahead. Like that might be the real possibility. Like you might be ahead of your goals, and you might be able to cut back on marketing, or maybe you can revisit your goals and revise it because you're further along. So you have maybe half the year left, and you already hit your goal. Well, you could just hang out and chill, or you can scale up your goals and then figure out what marketing will go help support that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different like rainy day type promotions and things you can run. Nico mentioned some before. Also, keep in mind if it's raining outside, often you can do work inside. So maybe there are some interior type services that you can offer for those particular days. That might be difficult to do if, let's say, it's an unexpected storm, but if the weather has been showing like, hey, it's going to be raining on Friday, maybe you can work ahead a little bit and get some interior type jobs scheduled for that day. Also, those are maybe good times to focus more on your design and consultation pieces of your business. So even though it's raining, you might still be able to go out and potentially even give an estimate depending on how bad it is, or, put together some of those designs, or, write out in more detail some of the consultation type services that you're doing, especially for clients that have already requested that. Those are some pieces of work that you don't necessarily have to put everything else on hold for. Actual installation, now that's a whole different story, but getting the vision there for the client, right? You can still do that piece, as well as anything that might involve like maintenance and repair oftentimes. And also keep in mind other promotions you can run after a rainy day special, right? So weather oftentimes causes problems. You can always capitalize on that. If it's raining, it's a really bad storm. People are going to have branches falling. People are going to have things that get ripped up. Maybe something gets misplaced, and they may need repairs on some things. So you can always run special promotions to say like, hey, in light of the storm, we want to give our clients first dibs at getting any repairs that they need done at a discount. Reach out to us here and we can get that taken care of for you. And especially if it's a really bad storm that is likely to cause property damage, those are always things you might want to capitalize on and be able to offer those services proactively, because if you're a homeowner, right, that's one of your first thoughts when you're like, oh, it's raining. Shoot, the roof is leaking, I'm having all these other issues, a branch just fell off my tree and messed up all my other stuff, my plants are getting uprooted. Those are the types of things they might need help with. So if you're proactive there, they might just be willing to take you up on it and get that thing sorted right away.
Yeah, and the only thing I would add here is like if the weather's affecting you, and let's say you don't do anything, like a roof leaking, like you don't focus on that. Maybe you're just doing artificial turf. Now might be a really good time to work with a partner and establish a partnership with maybe an HVAC company or a roofer that you can say, hey, listen, I want to offer my clients your services at a discount, right? So I want to refer them. Can I get in exchange? When it's better, can you send out a text or email blast about our services? So it could be a tit for tat, right? And you can even make a little bit of money on that to say, hey, anyone I send you, if I can get 5% of the deal or 10%, would that be worth your while? And again, starting to build those type of like long-term partnerships. So when this happens in the future, you have someone. Plus, your clients might say, hey, I can't do my turf installation in the backyard because my roof is leaking. Now you have a partner that you can refer to them, still make a little bit of profit on top of that if that deal goes sideways or it gets pushed out a couple weeks or a month because priority is on the roof or something like that.
Yeah, that was actually my next point is now is a great time to invest in your education and networking. So reaching out to partners, looking for those resources in your community that you can reach out to and network with. Anything else we wanted to talk about there?
Yeah, the only other one is maybe like focusing on bonus stacking your offer as a turf installer. For instance, like a lot of people have like promos, like we're saying here. They have great warranties on the product and labor, but some people don't have financing. So now might be a really good time to follow up with your local credit union to see if they offer financing that you can share on your behalf of your clients, or at one of those bigger companies that have financing, so that you can start value stacking. So if someone's like, "Oh, I'd love to go with you, but I need someone to help finance," that could be a deal that you lose. But if you had a partnership, which if maybe it's raining or snowing and you just don't have time, or that you have so much more time, you can actually focus on getting that, so that if someone says, "Oh, I'd love to work with you, but it's too expensive," you can say, "Well, we actually have a partner for financing," which enables you to get paid up front and then going through a financing partner to pay off the difference.
Sweet. Well, is there anything else you wanted to touch on about this topic of what to do when weather impacts your business?
Enjoy it if you can.
Yeah, it's not always
That's my
fun.
final
It's slowing down is not fun, and we have that too, right? Like Friday afternoons, I want to do a ton of things, but a lot of people are already off. So, to Laura's point, just calm down, focus on like using the time, to do things that you normally have been pushing off, or relax a little bit. I mean, it's okay to relax. Maybe you've had a long week, and this is a much needed reset. Just make just focus on like what you want. If you want to relax, great. If you want to keep growing, great. Now we have a couple tips and tricks on how to do that. Any other ideas, team? Justine?
No, I would just say, you can't control weather, but you can control some things. So maybe just focus on what you can control.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you guys have any questions, email me at nico@boundlessmedia.com. You can find us all across the web as Boundless Media, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.